But did I say that right, Lori? K through. Okay.
I'm working on it.
Look like, get a little bit of a tour and meet the teachers. So month, we had in kindergarten Amaya Perkins and Trayton Soring. First grade, JC Haverkamp, Olivia Kent, Liam Racine, and Rain Smith. Second grade was Todd Bellinger, Isaiah Farley, Xander Ackaby, and Cooper Kent. And third grade was Laurel Shimmick, Carter Weaver Heisler, and Miss Annika Bellinger. We had in kindergarten Amaya Perkins. Have any questions for me?
No. Nope. Anybody? Alrighty. We'll move on to Eric.
Oh, I'm gonna take a little bit of time here at the beginning here. You guys know I'm a music fan, most of you, right? Imagine the surprise on somebody's face when like Jimi Hendrix opened for him and Jimi Hendrix stole the show. So thank you, Lori, for stealing the show. And I'll give my recognition here before I didn't put Lori on. And I do want to say that it's been a great pleasure working with Lori. Lori has done a fantastic job. She's a fantastic leader. I can't say that enough. But I will go ahead and get started with my report. But I appreciate the words, Lori, and appreciate the sentiment. For curriculum instruction, we've got a great new class that we have a proposal for. Abby Rogenkamp would like to offer this class called Gaming Concepts. We didn't bring it to the School Improvement Committee last month just because it wasn't ready information. But it's a companion class to the Esports League, and it's STEM accredited. It would cover such things as interpersonal communication, influence of culture, media and technology, goal setting, and decision-making skills. And we would offer it as a 9-12 class. I think Mr. Hoban was at 9th grade orientation and saw that this would be probably one of the most, and so was Mr. MacArthur. This would probably be, and so was Mrs. Bevins there, that this would probably be a very good class to offer our young lads here. And I have no doubt in my mind that we would fill this course. So that is one that we'd like. I believe Mrs. Weber has it on her background information as well. For staffing, we've interviewed and selected Jordan Spaeth as our activities director. We've interviewed and selected Jeremiah Kramer as our FIAD teacher, tech integrationist. We've interviewed and selected Lindsay Swears as a 6th grade teacher. We've interviewed and selected Chelsea Chaput as our 6th grade teacher. We've interviewed and selected Marcy Gargano as a special ed teacher, but we still have the following positions posted and available. We still have we can take that one out now. Congratulations, you got your special ed for your 412 building is done. But we still have an elementary ed, industrial tech, English, math, and a family literacy specialist. Lori and I will be interviewing our family literacy specialists sometime soon. We've got at least 3 good candidates to pick from, so should be good. Busy place at the high school right now. Prom occurred, and I all around the state they're bragging about how great their prom was and how different it was. And I got to tell you, we led the way there as well. And it was a large part due to students that we have. So I was hoping Sunshine was going to be at the meeting, but and then Donis and Sophia just really wanted to have a good prom. So they did it. Kristen Zima, Annie Baker, Heather Holben, Billie Jean Beck, Tim Spaeth, Stacy Bly, Jen Bellinger, Charlene Gillis, Sarah Bauk, Angie Pazernick, Greg Warner, Lee Weigel, Chris Gerzik. So they did a grand march and then they went bowling. So it's probably the most active the kids had probably been at prom. So, and then they also did a post prom. Nobody was bored, I guess. That's really good. We did have a senior orientation night, May 11th. Thank you, Deja, Charlene, and Lainey. We also had 9th grade orientation night, May 12th. Thank you to Deja, Charlene, and Lainey again. I do want to give a recognition. I don't know if I do it on there or not. I didn't. There must have been 2 board reports. That's my fault. But Patty DeGroat was at one of the orientation nights, at the senior orientation night, and Sarah Bach was at the 9th grade orientation night, so that was good. Powwow went very well. The ladies there, Patty and Lyra and Barb all did a phenomenal job there. Mental Health Week is this week. It's currently occurring. Thank you to White Earth Mental Health and our student services for providing awareness this week, and also another shout out to Nindanis or Sunshine, and also Taylor Johnson, who's been helping out tremendously. Tomorrow night is our band concert, our elementary band concert. Formal concert and fine arts night is on Friday. Senior class baccalaureate's May 23rd. Senior awards night is the 26th, and then graduation's May 28th. I did put in our attendance and our discipline numbers, and then our recognitions have Teacher Appreciation Week, May 3rd through May 7th. Our teachers are out of this world, and we're very fortunate to have such a dedicated staff. Thank you to the PTSO for recognizing our teachers, providing treats to them during the week. School Nurse Day, we could not have done it without Mina, Eva, and Angie. This was a crazy year, and they helped us out tremendously. School Lunch Hero Day, like I said, Lori outshines me here. I still had Christy as Christy Walls. So, but Christy, Billie Jean, Margaret up in our building. But throughout the entire pandemic, and I know I'm talking about it like it's a done deal, but apparently Governor Walz thinks it's a done deal, so I think it's a done deal. But we couldn't have done it without them. They came through, and they keep coming through every day. Students of the month, 4th grade, Joseph Keyser, Harley Holben, Anna Axel, Delvin Cleveland, Emily Zimma. 5th grade, Evan Warren, Taylor LaFay. 6th grade, AJ Hill, Carleon Belcourt, Danica Christensen, and then our final senior student of the month is Adam Koloji. So, and once again, I do want to thank Lori for the recognition. It's been a pleasure working with her and seeing her. I don't want to say grow because she was always good, but she's just become a phenomenal leader. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Okay. Assessment and Data Coach Grant Coordinator, Charlene, are you on?
I am.
All right. Take it away.
Okay, so our 24 students that took the ACT, we had an average score of 16.38, which is down slightly from 2 years ago, which was at 18.46. I put in our preliminary data, and I'll be honest with you, this is very, very preliminary data. And I do have other kids that have tested since this information was put into the packet. Are there some concerns? Yes, I've got some concerns, but I also think that we had some unexpected places of growth. When you look at our fourth grade scores, our fourth grade math in 2019, so those are our sixth graders now, they got their score is identical. So there wasn't any loss, so which I think is a huge shout out to our teachers for their dedication and the parents in making sure that these kids were doing what they needed to, and the numbers are so up and down. It's kind of crazy. This is definitely data that we will be digging into more this summer, and as their final information comes in. I still haven't put on, as far as any of our kids that are tested, if they've been gone for 15 consecutive days, we can pull their test out because they've had a major gap in their learning. So I have done nothing as far as put any of those filters in. The state hasn't done their little bit of magic, things like that. And one of the other things I think that's really interesting is in 8th grade in 2019, looking at our score, and then when you look at their 10th grade score, I mean, they went up over 20 points, which is huge. Again, the pandemic. So we've got work to do, but we do have some bright spots, and I do think our teachers should be given a lot of the credit for the growth. It is kind of a puzzle, but we'll figure it out. Grants, we're still spending down some of our grant money. Any questions right now on anything?
Nope, I don't think so. Thank you very much, Charlene.
You're welcome. Have a great evening.
You too.
Thanks.
Okay, Michelle.
All right. So big thing that we're working on right now is just we're in the midst of an impact day desk review. So finishing up the details of that and getting ready to submit that to the federal government, to our impact aid analyst who will help go through that and review that. We've got most of the stuff together, working on the IPP stuff. So we should get that in. That's due at the end of May here. So grant management, we're just continuing ongoing monitoring as we hit the end of the year, just trying to work on spend downs and tracking. It's been fast and furious and moving very quickly with some of the programming that we're doing this summer. So it's been just trying to keep up with everybody's needs. I feel like at this point, just getting them what they need so that they can operate their program successfully this summer. We will be going over the budget projection later on, and this was after we had met with the finance committee. We are still waiting for a ton of details to come through to solidify things, but the projection is good thus far. E-rate project funding, I just wanted to touch on. We did spend $10,000 back a while ago. We did finally receive the USAC reimbursement from E-rate, which turned out to be about 80% of the funding, like Travis had stated we would get. So we received the $8,442.60 to offset the cost of that project. So We received another impact aid deposit, which was a closeout final payment for fiscal year 20. So it was smaller, 206,000 on the regular side, and then 6,500 on the child with disabilities category. So, and then I did get the right hand scholarship information from Deja. So we had 7 qualify, of which 4 applied. I'm not sure the other 3 that didn't apply what their intentions are, but those 4 did apply and they do qualify, and so they will be awarded the scholarship of $2,500. And so that'll be done at awards night. Just wanted to update you guys on that. Any questions?
None. Good job. So our fiscal year 21 impact aids will be coming like this fall?
This fall, yep. And then we're in the what we're getting reviewed on is our 2022 application. So the application that I submitted this year for next year's funding, that's what we're getting the desk review on. So
Okay.
they're double checking source documentation and all kinds of stuff. So
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Lisa.
Some of this I've already covered with other reports, but
I left. I'm gone. I'm sorry.
School forest, I talked a little bit about adding Wi-Fi out there, so we are working on that so that we have some Wi-Fi access for summer school programming and then into the fall. Construction update, we are doing abatement in the locker rooms will be done, and then they'll be working on demo on that. We're down to a punch list on the new addition, so just doing some cleanup there, and they're doing the waxing on the floors. And so that's made some great progress there. So they should be full demo is going to start May 17th. So that's making good progress there. And then demo on the cement pad and electrical and plumbing will begin very soon also. Then they'll be looking at the basketball court being put in. Also increasing wireless internet service for our families. We started a committee with Eugene MacArthur and started looking at a community committee looking at wireless service for the kids in our community, increasing services for families, and had a couple meetings. And then he was going to do some research and look at what they did at Turtle Mountain Reservation, and because they are fully covered with internet service. Did some research, and I hadn't heard from him for a while. And then I got a phone call from him Thursday morning, really early, and he said that he secured some funding through Enbridge to support our district and Mahnomen's district primarily, to increase up to 1,800 families. And actually, when you do it, there's some duplication, but it's 2,000 families. But I had to get the grant in right away. So I worked on that Monday morning and submitted a grant. It'll be 3 towers put up it'll be by Elbow Lake, White Earth, and then north of Nadawash. But it provide incredible coverage for our families. So submitted that Monday morning. So that will be some good support. And then we'll continue to meet as a community committee and add the emergency services because we really need to get some coverage for our fire and emergency personnel, sheriffs, White Earth, as they go through and try to get emergency personnel or emergency services and coverage as they're out on calls. And then continue to work with ARVIG as they expand services and kind of have legs to the journey as we continue to work through and expand. So that's very good news. That'll help us a lot. And they look at getting this project done this year. So Garden Valley Telephone, I think, looked at getting it done by mid-August. So that was good news and very, very thankful for that partnership. Legislative update. By the time I send it out to you in the board packet, it's old news. So the update as of tonight is they have some work sessions going on right now. And what they're looking at is there's 2 E12 targets with the 525 million or $675 million targets. And so they're looking at two possibilities. One is a 2% and a 2% on the formula, or a 1% and a 2.5%. And so the advantage of the 1% and the 2.5% is that there'll be some room for some special ed funding that we were looking at, and some other kind of targets that I had listed earlier. That the VPK funding, the wraparound services for mental health, if they go 2% and 2%, it doesn't leave a lot of room for any of those other initiatives. And so we'll see where that ends up. They have to have the deadline for the finance chairs to have a final budget spreadsheet done is May 28th. And then June 4th, the finance and policy chairs have to finalize that policy provision. And then expected special session and renewal of the governor's peacetime emergency powers is June 14th. And then the state budget must be adopted to avoid a government shutdown by June 30th. So that's where we're at with that. Are there any questions for me around that? The good news is at one point they were talking about not putting anything on the formula, at least in the Senate. The House was looking at 2% and 2%, and the Senate was saying nothing. They were just going to rely on the federal ESSER funding. So that's good news that we are going to be able to look at a percentage on the formula.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. I see Terry has popped in. Welcome, Terry. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I made it without Tammy and Lori helping me.
Well, that's good, considering this is probably our last meeting with them. All righty. Any questions on Tim Spaeth? Is Tim here on the activities? No? Okay. Any questions on the activity report? Dan, are you here? Nope.
No, he wasn't able to be here tonight.
So any questions on the maintenance director, maintenance report? Okay. Technology coordinator, Travis, we kind of went over that in the beginning on that one. So unless you have anything to add, Travis?
Not really. We got the cameras done on the new edition. They're up and running good. The switches in there are up and running good. Just busy working on renewing software contracts, bidding on a bunch of stuff. And then, as we mentioned before, we still have another E-rate project in the works for about $120,000, and that's going to cost us about $24,000 if we do everything correctly. So that'll be a good deal. That's all I got.
Okay. Thank you, Travis. So then we'll move on to non-certified representatives. Anyone here? Okay. Anyone here for certified? Okay. Anyone here for our students? Alrighty, we'll move on to the approval of the consent agenda. Does anybody have anything to add or remove for the consent agenda? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda for May 19th?
Motion, Nick.
Motion by Nick. Second?
Vicky.
Second by Vicky. Okay. Roll call. Christie's yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek? Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Let's see here. So we're going to move down to recognitions. 7.1, congratulations to our May Senior of the Month, Adam Kaloji. 7.2 is Teacher Appreciation Week, was May 3rd through the 7th, 2021. A huge thank you to our teachers for helping our children grow and succeed. And 7.3 is National Nurses Day. It's also celebrated on May 6th, and we are thankful for all, Midas Bala, Eva Brakefield, Angie Lurkey, and Carolyn Cassette, all they do for our school. 7.4 is Principal Appreciation Day, was May 1st. Thank you to Lori Johnson and Eric Martinez for your tremendous leadership and service. And again, yep, Eric, you will be missed. Thank you for all you've done over the last 10 years. It's been a pleasure working with you. Congratulations to all the seniors. Graduation is May 28th, 2021. And the students of the month were already voted out there. So 7.7 is School Lunch Hero Day was May 7th. Thank you to Christy Dormanen, Mary Tyken, Billie Jean Benson, Taylor Benson, Margaret LaFay, and Cindy Bement for preparing and serving healthy meals at school. Oh, I think Eric already said that, didn't he? The district would like to thank Deb Lewis for her 5 years of service and Kelly LaRue for 24 years of service at the Waubun-Ogaman-Wider School District. We wish you the longest, most joyous retirement possible. Any other recognitions to add? Anybody?
I'd just like to add on to the thank you to all of our staff. May is a time we recognize a lot of different groups and different membership groups, but we really do have incredible staff. I'm very, very thankful for all of them. And our leadership team is fantastic, but we can look at every single one of those groups and really do a fantastic job. So very thankful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, absolutely. Totally agree. Okay. Moving on to 10.1, approval, the first reading of the preliminary budget 2021-2022.
So we had met with the finance committee and went over this preliminary budget projection. Right now we are projecting a deficit based on the staffing model increases that we have. Those consist of some negotiation projections, additions of staff, staff that are, getting time added to their contracts, all of that good stuff. So it kind of encompasses that whole that whole gamut of stuff. Obviously, that is updating and changing as we speak, as we make hires, as people leave positions, as we rehire for those positions. So it really is a moving target at this point. What we're looking at is a conservative ADM estimate. It is up from last year, but we do anticipate a more normal year next year, and our numbers are looking good as we're ending the school year. And so, we could feel comfortable where we're at, looking at increasing those ADMs, as far as budgeting purposes. Our revenue is down overall, but I don't expect that to be what comes through as a final number. Obviously, we're getting a ton of ESSER dollars. We'll wait and see what the state does with the formula increase. So there's lots of moving factors yet at this point. But I did want to touch on, I'm just going through my notes here. I did want to touch on the increase of the tech budget is in here. Like I had stated, assumptions for negotiations and things like that some of that is scheduled in here. We do have the new health insurance rates, but we are trying to solidify contracts yet as far as nailing those down, getting them approved and making those final so I can add the costs in the budget. As we are applying for grants and securing the funding for next year, getting those numbers added into the budget and getting the expenses to match. And so just a lot of detail work related to that. Anybody want to add anything? Who was at the finance committee meeting? Am I missing anything? The plan would be just to continue to revise and continue to look at things. This will come back for a second reading. I would hope to have some updates in here, so this number may look a bit different, but we'll kind of want to gauge and see where things are at. If we don't have enough, then we may just present this again next month and then just let things kind of transpire over the summer. But we'll be in a good position. We have a good fund balance ending this year and coming into next year, and have done some building on fund balances from the prior 2 years. So I feel like we're in a good position, and construction project seems to be going well. So I don't see any real big surprises. Does anybody have any questions about specifics?
So what can we do different, if things stay the same for next year with the free and reduced? Is there any, I'm sure it's the families not getting the paperwork and stuff filled out because you didn't have to, correct?
That's part of it. Yeah. So one note and one thing that we talked about in finance committee was that we had a significant drop in compensatory revenue, and that is because of some of the changes that the state made and the overall federal government made at the USDA level with the free meal program. And so typically there's a big push for getting those free or reduced meal applications out and getting families to return them back. And there are some consequences. I mean, if you don't get that back and you don't get your certification for free meals, you got to pay for them. You get a bill in the mail. We call you. We harass you sometimes, nicely. But so there was not a lot of incentive for people to do that. And so we sent reminders and we did some things, strategically in our office, but we really did talk about what do we need to do different coming into next year, because we know that we can't lose that amount of money again. We know we have to be more strategic about things. And so, looking at getting a couple of our interventionists involved, we have a secretary that gets great responses from families at times. And so I think doing more legwork, being more persistent, doing a better job tracking, basing it off of a census report of our families and actually checking those off that come in, and then really targeting those families that we're still missing. That would be what I envision it to look like and what I would kind of want to see rolled out within our office. So I'll talk to Kelly more and Tammy works with that. And so, we'll get kind of a back to school plan together on how we're kind of get that and get some target dates out there. Because like I said, they're just typically there was a window until a couple weeks into October where if they didn't, so your status rolls over from last year. So if I was free last year, I'm going to come into the next school year free again. And then I have to fill out an application within the first 30 days of school or something like that. And so if I don't fill that out, then I automatically go to full pay. I don't get free meals anymore. So there's that benefit to filling that out. But when everybody gets free meals, it doesn't matter. Nobody sees the loss of funding except for on our side. So we have to let our families know how important that is. We have to let our parents know how much funding that brings in for their children for school. It isn't just about getting the free meal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and this past year, even Kelly tried to tie it to, because you had to have that filled out to get your EBT card, and it helped for qualifying for that. And families didn't fill it out, and then they were angry that they didn't qualify. And so, we tried tying it to that. And so what we talked about doing too is that when we have parents come at the beginning of the year to pick up, when we do the backpack program or hand out that maybe they fill that out before they can get the rest of their materials. So we have that in a line. And typically we've had them fill out the paperwork as a part of that process, kind of have go online, fill out this, fill out this, fill out this. But we really make sure that that's the piece of paper that's done before they are able to get the rest of the materials. And so we kind of have it as a trade-in, get this done first and then you can have that. And we just have everybody fill it out, whether they think they're going to qualify or not. That's just part of the process. So just building it into some of our systems that we have for back to school. So working on some of the things like that. And so I talked with, Patty DeGroat to make sure that when they're doing that backpack and, some of those back to school procedures are built in, and then just logging those names and figuring out who else we have left to make sure that those are built into our process and procedures.
And I do just want to echo that, not all of the decreases from lack of applications. It does go back to what people qualify for. We know that we've seen an increase in wages. We know people are, they're getting better jobs, things like that. So it does have to do, economic status overall too. And then also, depending upon what the federal government does with those poverty guidelines year to year, if they move them up or if they stay stable. And so there's a lot of different factors that go into that, but we know what we can control and what we can try to do better at. And that would be following up on the applications. We at least know that we can do that. And so, and we don't really know at this point how long the meals are going to be free for next year. So that'll be another something to keep an eye on and something to track in it, and that may be our big push for the importance of the applications again, because we don't know when that program is going to come to a cease. We typically, we don't get a lot of heads up notice. It's like, maybe a week or two, and it's like, okay, we're switching, so just something to keep in mind.
Okay, thank you. And it also affects the state high school league too, doesn't it? Our enrollment with the free and reduced. I mean, we could be moved up into a higher class. So
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that all works, but yeah, I know that there's factors of that definitely play into it. And, do they factor COVID in? I don't know. I don't know, some of the rules and things like that. But yeah, I mean, our free and reduced status drives a lot of things. And so it drives title. It drives title allocations. Title allocations drive ESSER allocations. So, it just all intertwines so much. So if it's one thing that we can focus on and do that a little bit better, then, so be it. So, and we've had ups and downs before, but, you kind of project some of that. And this was just a little bit more than what we anticipated or what I anticipated. So.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other questions on the budget? Do we have a motion to approve the first reading?
Motion by Alan.
Motion by Alan, second.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. Okay. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. Motion passes. 10.2, approve the InterQuest Detection Canines contract for what's SY?
School year.
School year. Oh, use the FY. Fiscal year 2021, 2022. So this has been our team for years, right?
Yep. So, and it's just, it was $315 per team and it went up $10. So it's not much of an increase for a service that's well needed, well used, and very much needed.
Okay. Did we ever do any RFPs for that?
We haven't, but I know that we were approached quite a few years back from somebody else that had a company that was doing this, but we ended up having an issue potentially with certification,
Okay.
I believe was what happened.
I was asked to look into that about 4 or 5 years ago, and I contacted them and they weren't licensed. So that's
Okay.
I think that's what you're referring to, Michelle.
And there's just not a lot of agencies around that
No,
that
there's
I'm aware
not,
of that do this. So,
but I have to ask.
yep, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion, Nick.
Motion by Nick. Second.
John.
Second by John. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. Motion passes. 10.3, approve request to purchase class-wise in the amount of $7,140.
This is a replacement for Go Guardian. It allows teachers to have full control of what the students do on Chromebook. They can monitor and see what they're doing. They can block websites and make students go to a different website. And this is going to work with LineWise, which is the next agenda item. So, and this is for a 3-year contract.
Okay. Do you have a motion to approve?
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek, second.
Second by Alan.
Second by Alan. Roll call vote. Christie's a yes. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
and Vicky.
Yes.
Motion passes. 10.4, approve request to purchase LineWise in the amount of $8,925.
And this one replaces the internet filter, SIPA filter. And so, this one, if we had, as you remember, we had a couple times where people got through our filter. And so this is just looking at some other options. Our contract was up. And so just looking at other options. And like I said, it does work with the one we just passed. And so once again, 3-year contract, and it will bundle with class-wise work together. It gives teachers full potential to allow the blocking and lets them change things on the fly.
Motion, Derek. Vicky.
Second by Vicky. Roll call. Christie's a yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky. Yes. Motion passes. Approve request to purchase 200 Chromebook in the amount of $54,400.
We're having Chromebooks come back damaged, so we're purchasing 200 replacement Chromebooks. Screens are cracked. Some are just having to be replaced completely. So we are looking at buying additional ones. They're really hard to order and getting back ordered. So we are putting in the order early, which is probably not real early now, but just a necessity. So ESSER funds will be utilized.
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek.
Second.
Second by Nick. Any further questions? Okay, roll call vote. Christie's a yes. Alan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Vicky.
Yes.
Motion passes. Approve the purchase of new phone system in the amount of $25,797.50.
I don't know if you want to speak to this, Travis. Travis actually did a lot of legwork on this, and we had groups meet with both Arberg and the 3CX phone companies. And I think, Travis, we actually brought this through the tech committee. But that 3CX is a little more modern. As it says in the background, Mahnomen and Perm both have the 3CX, and they're happy with those.
Feature-wise, they can both do very similar things. We just kind of like the look and feel of 3CX, plus the local schools that already have it like it. And then it's kind of a one-time upfront purchase with a small annual fee versus the other option was a smaller upfront purchase with a very large monthly fee every year or every month after month. So cost of ownership in the long run would be much cheaper with 3CX.
And the big benefit too for our staff is they can use their Chromebook mobile device as their school phone. So if we end up having an e-learning day or for bad weather, inclement weather day or a distance learning day, they can use their school phone number and not have to use their cell phones.
Perfect. Okay, do I have a motion? Well, do I have any further questions first?
I'll just also note that this was on the capital plan, the 10-year capital plan. It had been slated for how many years, Travis?
I don't know offhand, but a lot.
Yeah, it had been on there for a long time. So this is, I just want to let you guys know this is a long time coming, and so it's very much needed.
Oh, didn't we have a failure earlier, late last
Yeah, and I believe Travis can attest to the fact that we're teetering
Yeah.
potentially not having a phone system some days.
Yeah.
The current system hasn't been licensed for updates in probably 7 years, and it's old. It needs to be replaced.
Okay, well, we're gonna get it replaced. So we have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Vicky,
Second,
Second.
Derek.
second by Derek. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christy. Motion passes, and you're gonna get a phone system, Travis. 10.7, approve. Approve school resource officer contract. It doesn't look like there's anything different in there.
No, just a slight increase just for cost of living. So $3,200 increase. It's the same contract.
Motion. Do we have a motion?
Nick.
Motion by Nick. Second.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. Motion passes. Approve the student council officers leadership training on August 1st and 2nd in St. Cloud.
It's obviously what it is a leadership training, and it's just a few kids, 2 to 3 kids going with one advisor. They pay for everything on their own except for the Suburban, so great learning opportunity for them.
Motion, Derek.
Second by Ellen.
Okay. I just had a question though.
Okay.
Why are they paying for it on their own?
It's in their student council fund.
Okay, so the student council is paying for it, not
Yeah.
the kids on their own.
Right.
Okay, I just need to clarify that. Okay, motion by Nick, Derek, second by Alan. Roll call vote, Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. The motion passes. Okay. 10.9, approve the purchase of a Clavinova piano and dolly in the amount of $5,245.
This is a need for the music department, and it has been a scheduled purpose on the capital plan.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion, Nick.
Motion by Nick,
Second, Derek.
second by Derek. Roll call, Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. Motion passes. Approve the purchase of 46 Brefford cube carts for 30 tablets in the amount of $27,324. What's with the tongue twisters this time?
Well, as we get more devices, we need to have more carts for charging, and so that's just we need to have more carts. So that's what they are. So they'll be able in the classrooms.
Yep, these are so when the kids have their Chromebooks in school in the classrooms, they have a place to store them in each classroom.
Do we have a motion?
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek, second.
Second by Ellen.
Second by Alan. Roll call vote, Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Clary,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie is a yes. Motion passes. So 10.11, approve the proposal to offer a new class for 9th through 12th graders called Gaming Concepts.
Eric talked about this a little bit, but we have Abby on here. Abby, did you want to speak a little bit about the gaming concepts class?
I would, if that's okay. I hope you guys are all staying cool down in the media center. I have a computer lab, so I get an air conditioner up in here. So hope you guys are good down there. I know it's hot in the rest of the school. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about gaming concepts. Like Mr. Martinez stated, we do have some kids who did hear about the class, and I can think of 10 off the top of my head who have came to me personally and said that they'd be very interested in this class. And gaming concepts, it's not just about playing video games, which it sounds like they're not just coming to my classroom and playing video games for 45 minutes. We're touching on standards like the physical and mental health of playing video games, because that is a big stigma with gamers, is they don't leave their computers, they don't get out and exercise, they have bad nutrition. So we'll talk a lot about that. And then to make it a tech credit, we talk a lot about different types of technology and the different things that go into computers and gaming. So overclocking, making sure things run the best, and make sure we have cleaning the computers, keeping up with updates. Then we also are doing some stuff based off of team building. Like Mr. Martinez said, it is a partnership with a league, like the high school esports league. It's a national thing, such as like MSHSL does for physical sports. there is the high school esports league where kids can play on teams with each other, win prizes, win money, and scholarships. There are a lot of colleges now that have esport leagues where you can get scholarships to play for them. And I actually have a friend who went and played for the South Dakota School of Mines all 4 years and got scholarships for the League of Legends team. So team building is really important in our school, I think, getting kids to communicate within one another and problem solving, those critical thinking skills. So I'd like to think this class would be good in doing stuff like that. And you may think that there's not a lot of jobs in gaming, but there are. People just play video games, and some people pay them just to watch them play. There are people who are designing video games, writing the lore for them, so on and so forth. So I think this would be a good opportunity, but there is kind of one hiccup. None of our computers can handle playing video games. We don't have the graphics cards, and we don't have the necessary equipment to play any type of game. So that would have to come up in some sort of way.
If I can chime in for a second, I was at a meeting on Tuesday yesterday. The director, IT director of Moorhead Public Schools is starting an esports or similar class, and they're doing it because a lot of the colleges are offering scholarships for it. So just thought I would throw that in. And he's probably going to want to talk to you, Abby, if this goes through.
Awesome. Any questions for me? I don't have quite the number of kids that would be able to take it, so I wouldn't know how many computers we would need or things like that. But
And Abby, did you say to start out to teach the class, you could start out with 1 or 2 computers?
yes, the tech club does have 2 gaming computers already, so we could try to make that work, have kids play interchangeably. But if we want to do a lot with the team building and the communication and stuff, it'd be better if we could offer almost 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, but it is possible to make it work if we had to.
And what's the cost of a gaming computer?
Well, gaming computers are quite a lot, but we wouldn't need the type of graphics that a gaming computer would need. We just need simple graphics computers, and sometimes it's up to $700 per computer. If we wanted gaming ones, that's upwards of $1,800, but we wouldn't need that because it's more just getting the kids involved.
Right. I would say a safe number to budget with would be about $1,200 a computer.
Okay.
Travis, not to interject, but how many of those can we build?
As many as you want to pay for.
How much would it cost if we built them, Travis?
That's if we build them. That's ordering the parts and doing it ourselves, which I'd be more than willing to help.
Yeah, and a tech club could help with that, and even I would assume, Abby, that you would let the class do that too and help out in that as well, and that could be part of the class.
So how would this lead into the esports, or would it just be one and the same?
It's kind of different. We talk a lot about just video games and the health and the stuff like that, and then we'd get into the esports side of it and playing professionally and the video games. But mostly we're hitting on just gaming in general.
So it's like strength and training in athletics, Al. That would be the parallel. It's a whole new world, Al.
I know, I'm having a hard time adjusting to it. So
Actually, I do know a few kids who have made a lot of money on doing this thing. So I mean, it's out there. It's a new technology, and it's I encourage us to take advantage of that and teach our kids to learn how to adapt. We're gonna have to teach us old fellers something in the future. So
I know it, and I'll just throw this out there. I got a cousin's son who's going to college on a trap shooting scholarship.
oh, I'd love to see that too. Trap shooting. Okay. Any other questions for Abby? Alrighty. Thank you, Abby. Do I have a motion to approve this?
Motion, Derek.
Motion by Derek. Second.
Second.
Second by Nick. Okay. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. Motion passes. Congratulations, Abby. Let's see what you do.
I would put in there too, like Travis and Abby, put together a build list for your computers and bring forward something of a budget maybe to get so we can have 4 to 6 computers starting out and just kind of have a price and bring that, to the school board as well.
Will do. Thank you guys so much.
And Abby, I just wanted to say, I mean, thanks for doing this. These are the electives that I think are very important for our young people to be involved in, making our kids well-rounded and something outside the box we haven't done. So thank you.
Awesome. All right. Any other comments or questions? Okay. 10.12, approve principal's contract for Tim Spaeth. So unless, I don't think we've announced it yet, have you?
Nope. We had a committee of 20 different representatives of the districts. So we took leaders from the school board. We had our officers from the school board. We had leaders from the teachers, leaders from the students, leaders from the district office, leaders from the administration, and pulled together a committee of about 20 people, do interviews. We interviewed, I believe, 7 people. And out of those, we chose Tim Spaeth to be the next principal of the grades 4 through 12 Waubun site. So we congratulate Tim Spaeth. And that's the recommendation we're bringing forward to the board.
All motion.
Motion by John, second.
Second, Derek.
Second by Derek. Okay. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky? Yes. And Christie's a yes. Vicky said yes.
Yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Tim. We look forward to working with you more. 10.13, approved amended contract for high school administrative assistants. So
Recommending that we move the high school administrative assistant to an 11-month contract from a 10-month contract. And if you recall, we tried to do this a couple of years ago, but because the person that was in the position really didn't want to move to more time. But because of all the changes and the mandates and the amount of work that's required, we really need somebody in there for 11 months just to support not only the administration work that happens in that office, but the staff and the community needs. So once again, moving back to that request to move that to an 11-month position. The non-certified executive committee did meet today, actually, after school, to get an MOU signed and approved that also, because that's in the contract that's a 10-month position. So they got it moved today. So the non-certified group does support this change also.
Motion, Derek.
okay. Is there any questions? Anything else before we move forward?
This is something that we had projected in the budget, so this is not an increased cost from assumptions.
No, and we did have it, bring it to the finance committee too also, and that has been approved by the finance committee also.
Okay. We have a motion on the table by Derek. Do I have a second?
Vicky?
Second by Vicky. Okay. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Christie's a yes. Motion passes. We have succeeding meetings. 11.1, which is May 18th, School Forest Committee meeting at 4.
Some of these are already passed because the agendas got sent out. So
What day is it?
Wednesday.
Oops.
Wednesday.
I'm hot. It's hot in here. 11.3. That's tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Health and Safety Committee meeting, 7:45 a.m.
And then we have tribal consultation that never got sent out. That's on Friday at 1:00 p.m. Would Vicky or Christy, would one of you be able to attend that?
I am already committed to another meeting at 1
Okay.
o'clock that day on Friday, the 21st. Is that what it is?
Yep. Is there a school board member that would be able to attend?
Terry, would you?
1:00 on Friday?
This Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, I can.
It's tribal consultation, so.
Yeah, where would it be at?
It'll be virtual, so,
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And then 11.4, June 16th is a June regular school board meeting. So
Which will be in person. So it'll be an open meeting so that everybody can, it is open to the public. So if people want to attend in person, they're welcome to do that. There will be no more virtual meetings.
yes, no more virtual. Alrighty, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Motion by John. Second,
Vicky.
Vicky. Roll call vote. Alan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Yes.
Vicky. Yes. And Christie's a yes. We are adjourned
Okay.
at 7:11. Thank you, everybody.